Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 3. We are on our way to episode 8. Yeah. And action.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Maritime Witch. Let's go shopping. So the last episode, we discussed creating your sacred space and stocking your witchy cupboard. So this week, we will take you on a little journey to some local shops to find some great stuff. Now, these shops are in Nova Scotia, particularly on the South Shore. Two of them are in the Annapolis Valley. So if you're in Nova Scotia in this particular area, it's great. You can go check out these stores. And if you are out of province or even out of country and are planning a trip, hey, check these places out. So now before I get on the road to some cool little shops, let's talk about your budget. Now, as I said before, this can cost a lot or a little. I'm a frugal, low-budget witch most times, and I am a crafter. So I am blessed to be able to put some things together myself. Perhaps you are as well, or maybe you have a creative friend who can help you. We do like to create, and we're always willing to step in and help. I find that dollar stores, although not really dollar stores anymore, have some pretty decent craft sections now and can provide you with a lot of stuff. One thing that I do like about dollar stores is the candles. If you are working with candle magic and your spell requires you to burn the candle down, then birthday candles are a great size for this. You have pretty much every color option. They're cheap, and as I said before, I'm not a patient person, so a little birthday candle burns down really, really quick.
What happened?
A virgin lit the candle.
Usually you can get like little tiny jars and little chests, journals that you can recover. I have just recently taken up junk journaling, so they provide a lot of really great cheap journals. You can make a book of shadows. Halloween time, as we discussed also, fabric stores, usually around Halloween, they have some really cool Halloween prints in, and they usually have a great sale afterwards. So, buy as much or as little as you need or you want. As I said before in the previous episode, we are entering yard sale season. May 6th was our local Mayfest, and I actually was able to purchase 3 decks of Oracle cards. Not something that you see very often at yard sales, but hey, it was a great find for me. Discount stores are a great place. Online stores, be careful. Again, make sure that the sites are reputable. Marketplace on Facebook is another great place to find stuff, and you can also search for what you're looking for. I prefer to support local as much as possible. Secondhand bookstores usually carry a selection of spiritual books.
Famous Harry Potter. Can't even go to a bookshop without making the front page.
So let's just discuss some of the things that I've been able to find. As I said, Marketplace on Facebook is a great place. And I do have a little story. There was a lady who was selling some Wiccan books, and she had posted a picture. A friend of mine messaged me and she said, hey, check out these books. So I messaged the lady and I said, I would really, love to have these books. So she lived a little ways away. So we drove to the house and my husband parked down the road. So I get out of the car and I went up and I knocked on the door. And when the lady opened the door, she looked at me and she said, are you alone? So rules of Marketplace, meet in a public place, because I was absolutely terrified at this point because I had no idea why she was asking why I was alone. But then she followed it up and she was like, you're not going to be able to carry this. And I'm like, okay, I have help.
That would be me.
That would be you. Oh, yeah, by the way, Sean's here. I forgot your introduction. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm just a minion.
Banana.
Yeah, banana.
Ba 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 banana. Ba 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 banana. Oh. Ba 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 ba.
We both went back to the house. And to my surprise, I had 2 great big banana boxes. Banana.
Banana.
That was a good segue.
That was, yeah.
And I think I came home with like 70 books on many different topics encompassing witchcraft and demonology, herbology. It was just a really great selection, and I think it cost me like $40. The books actually belong to the lady that was selling them. It belonged to her mother-in-law, and there was some pretty dark subject matter in those books as well. I'm not really sure what happened to the mother-in-law, but they were moving, so So yeah, anyways, another great find was an antique desk. I was actually looking for roll top, so not quite what I was looking for, but it was still ended up being a perfect fit for the Zen Den. And oddly enough, the lady that I bought it from actually just lived down the road from us. So that worked out great. So let's get on the virtual road. I'm going to tell you about 6 little shops, only because I have had the pleasure of being in these stores. They all have Facebook pages if you would like to check them out. So let's start by going big or go home, and let's go to the city of Halifax, Nova Scotia. So our first stop is the Black Market Boutique. It is located at 1545 Grafton Street. Now, while this isn't a shop that sells metaphysical supplies per se, there's some great unique finds there. I find their prices are really good. It's got some great jewelry, some jars, some bowls, some baskets, incense and burners. I mean, this store is just full of treasures, and it's colorful and it's vibrant, and it's a beautiful little shop to go into. So then we're going to hop on over to 1526 Queen Street in Halifax to the Neighborhood Witch General Store. This is a witch's shop. Another little spot filled with many treasures, tarot and oracle cards, delicious handcrafted perfumes. They are delightful. Smudge wands. And I find that this is the best place I have found for little bags of lavender, vervain, nettle, chamomile. Their selection of botanicals is by far one of the best I've seen so far. So those are 2 great places in the city to check out. And I know that there are some more shops. I'm not a city girl. I'm a country girl. So I don't get to the city very often. So the next time I go, maybe I'll make a point of checking out some more stores.
We'll hitch up the wagon.
Okay, so let's head out of the city to Silver Birch Spirit Connections at 5589 St. Margaret's Bay Road. That's a lot of great metaphysical supplies, gemstones and crystals, tarot and oracle cards. Carol, the shop owner, has some really cool stuff, and she can usually be found at a lot of the local spiritual fairs. One word of warning with Silver Birch is that it is very easy to get carried away with what you're spending because she has so many delightful things. And I look forward to seeing Carol in a few weeks, actually, at a fair coming up. I hope she is attending, but I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. So coming along the South Shore to Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia, we're going to stop at Bluestone Magic at 586 Main Street in Mahone Bay. Bluestone has it all. Not just metaphysical and witchy supplies, but if you are from out of town or out of province, out of country, you can find some great Nova Scotia souvenirs. It's got a great selection of books, incense, crystals, candles. Like I said, there's everything at this store. And again, Bluestone Magic is one of these stores where you'd be hard pressed to come out of there with your wallet not being a little bit lighter. So now let's journey to the Annapolis Valley of Nova Scotia. So our first stop is going to be 106 Mill Street in Berwick, Dell's Reiki Room. Focused on crystals, but also has some other fabulous find. She has a great selection of pendulums. Del herself is just the sweetest woman, offers classes in Reiki as well as other workshops. And one thing that I like about Del's that I haven't seen anywhere else is that Del offers a shopper loyalty program. She wants you to come back to her store. So you get a stamp with every $20 purchase. And after the 9th stamp is completed, then the 10th purchase of $20 off your order of $20 or more. So that's a great thing. Like I said, I haven't seen any other shop give you a little loyalty card. That's a great thing. And it does keep people coming back for sure. So now we're going to continue on the road in the Annapolis Valley down to Nan's Rock Shop and Spiritual Center. She is located at 13995 Highway 1 in Wilmot, Nova Scotia. This was a lot easier to find than I thought it was going to be. Be careful as you pull in to Nan's Rock Shop because Twiddles may be outside. Twiddles is a beautiful little gray and white kitty. She has made it to 23 graceful years and is full of love. She is one of the best store greeters I have ever met. She guided us right up the pathway and right into the store. If you want rocks and crystals, you have to go here. It is the best selection I have ever seen and has great prices. They must spend an enormous amount of time dusting because there are shelves and glass displays and it's arranged absolutely beautifully. And Nan's also offers tarot and oracle cards. And one thing that I really like about this is she has a lot of demo decks. So you can actually look at the cards before you buy them. So you get to look at the pictures, you get to feel them for size, and just get a sense of if that's what you're looking for. I know it's hard when you're buying a deck because even though there's like pictures on the back, once you open it, you have no idea, or until you open it, you have no idea what size the cards are. And I think that this is just a really great thing to offer to your customers. Also on Wednesday afternoons, you can book a reading with Eve Chapman. Eve is like a soul sister to me. I met her, I'm going to say back in October of last year. She is super intuitive. I don't think you'd be disappointed at all. So those are just 6 of the little shops that I wanted to feature in this episode, only because I have been in those shops and I can give a personal account. I'm sure that there's a lot more shops in the province. I just haven't had the opportunity yet to go and visit them. So any of these shops provide a great opportunity for you to grab a friend, grab a coffee, hit the road. And hey, if you're out and about and you come across another little shop, drop me a line at themaritimewitch@gmail.com and let me know some of the treasures and places that you found along the way. So let's now jump over to the botanical segment of the podcast. But before we do, we will be right back.
Science fiction. A world where your imagination has no limits. And you can explore those limitless boundaries at sci-fipulse.net. And check out the SFP Now podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Because if you are listening to a really good science fiction podcast, well then,
you're listening to SFP Now.
And the time has come for plans to take back the world so rightfully ours.
So the botanical that I have chosen to feature in this podcast is lavender. Its element is air. It is associated with the planet Mercury. Lavender has a lot of uses. It's used for relaxation and deep sleep. It's a remedy for headaches, insomnia, and stress. Lavender is also widely used in spell work. It repels negativity. You can also purchase lavender tea as well as lavender infused chocolate, which I have tried. I thought it would taste really flowery, but it's actually quite nice. A lavender bath is very calming as well. You can use essential oils also for aromatherapy. Just be mindful if you're using any essential oils in aromatherapy that some of them are toxic to your familiars. Lavender is safe, is non-toxic to dogs, and it is tolerated by cats. But before you use anything, just please do your research because we don't want to hurt any of our cute little fluffy friends. So now let's move on to the gemstone and crystal segment of the podcast.
I want to rock.
So the gemstone that I have chosen for this segment is amethyst. Amethyst is a quartz mineral. It's the birthstone for February. It is associated with the elements of air and water and the planets Jupiter and Neptune. It was once regarded as the gem of fire. It was worth as much as a diamond. It is associated with psychic abilities. It's used in meditation, used for balance and clarity. It is a stone of protection. It's used to relieve anxiety, enhances sleep and dreams. It ranges in color, mauve, violet, and deep purple. Some people I know have been actually lucky enough to find some pieces of amethyst right here on the south shores of Nova Scotia. Any metaphysical shop will usually have some great pieces of amethyst. You can, again, wear a pendant, carry a stone, lots of bracelets. So there's lots of options out there, and it's one of my favorites, actually. I have a really nice piece of amethyst. I will take a picture and put that on the Facebook page so that we will have a visual. And that concludes the crystal and gemstone segment of the podcast. So let's do the shout out segment of the podcast. So on June 3rd, there is a spiritual fair at the Mahone Bay Legion at 21 Pond Street, obviously in Mahone Bay. Your host is Corrine Moland, and it runs from 10 until 3. There is an admission of $2. This is a great place for you to come and start stocking your witchy cupboard. I will be a vendor at this fair, so stop by and say hello. So that concludes episode 3 of The Maritime Witch. I will be returning on June 4th for episode 4. I have no idea what the topic is going to be for episode 4. I have a couple of ideas. I'm not really sure yet which one I'm going to go with. So maybe I will do a vote on the Facebook page. So just as an added bonus, stay tuned for the very end of this episode for a little bit of a blooper reel. So I hope you join me for the next episode. And until we meet again, may the universe find you safe, happy, and healthy. Blessed be. And also, please be mindful that some aromatherapy essential oils are very toxic to your fluffy little nuggets. So
That's sensitive to your fluffy little nuggets.
Your fluffy little nuggets. Your familiars. Well, we used to call our boy Fluff Nugget. Do you want me to do that part over?
You know what people are going to think.
How many people have fluffy nuggets? Okay, so let's do that over. I've lost Sean. He's gone. Are you okay? Okay, well, let's just take a break and get a drink.
Woo.
So that's a great thing. Like I said, I haven't seen any other shop give you a little loyalty card. That's a great thing. And it does keep people coming back for sure.
Yeah, the only other place I know that does that is Tim Hortons. No, McDonald's. Yes, McDonald's.
No, anyways, they're not witchy, so we're not gonna. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I've seen some little witches at McDonald's. But.
That's all right. I'll cut this
Okay.
part out.
So let's do the shout out section of section. Why do I keep saying section? Ah, that was funny.